Welcome to Living Magically for the week of March 17th. And I am your host, Magical Michelle. And I want to just encourage you to lean in this week to finding your balance. I know that you're possibly feeling this intensity from the lunar eclipse, and we've got a solar eclipse coming. So there's this in between. So there might be a little bit of a full moon hangover. We're in the very last days of Pisces. And so as we finish this energy, I realize that that can be very unsettling, and that a lot of emotions can be on the surface, and a lot can be boiling underneath. So recalibrate, realign, and renew. We're now in a position where we have Venus retrograde and Mercury retrograde at the same time, and we're getting ready for the spring equinox. Now, that is a wonderful thing in and of itself. However, I know getting there is just a little bit on the rocky water side. So lean into the fact that this is a time to take pause. And when you're taking pause, it's a really good time to take a review. It's a really good time to sit and journal, meditate, clean up. Um, it's a great time to do a little spring cleaning. You might feel after that Virgo full moon like a, a purge has to happen, and your energy might be sapped. So get a lot of sleep, because we are about to emerge into high growth season. Now, it's not going to feel super fast, super, perfect right away, but it encourages you to find your balance. We're going to move from Pisces into Aries on the 20th. And with that, we're going to move from that water, which a lot of us have been feeling like, oh my goodness, there's the water, the watery energy just feels like so much emotion. And we're finally going to feel like we're going to get some momentum as we move into Aries season. And that momentum is going to feel like a fresh start. And maybe even for some of you, like we're actually beginning the year, because we have this beginning of Aries that's actually the astrological new year. So we get to go. And for the Northern Hemispheres, we've now moved into a place, or we will be, where the sun is longer every day than the darkness. And we will go all the way through this peak season, 6 months of it being a brighter, fuller season of light. And the seeds are pretty much getting planted, or they have been. And so now it's time to water what you're planting. Finish your planting and move forward. That's going to be happening now, finally. And I don't know about any of you, but it's like, finally. So as we do this, think about this as, how do I need to get my equilibrium back? It's the day of balance. That's where the night and the day are exactly the same length. And then from that point forward, every day, the sun will grow to midsummer. Now, we're still in between these two eclipses, so it might feel like you're moving through quicksand. It isn't necessarily that big starter time, but more of a finishing, completing, reviewing with we talked about last week, the Venus retrograde, and this, now we're in Mercury retrograde. So leave a little early. Double check your downloads, double check your plans and itineraries, double check and review send before you send something. Make sure that you're writing everything down and you're reading everything before you write it. And if at all possible, wait until next month to sign any major contracts or make any long-term agreements you can't get out of. But it's a good time to be thinking about what those are. And here we have Aries coming in, and Aries is finally a fire sign. It's our first season of fire this year. Now, that could feel a little more aggressive. We could feel like it's time to stand up for ourselves. It could mean that we're no longer tolerating things. So there's a no tolerating zone coming in with this energy. The spring equinox for me is one of my favorite time frames. Ostara is the goddess of fertility, and it's a time where we're in a renewal and a rebirth and a regeneration. And I do feel this year that's exactly what is coming in for us. What is the new you're creating? What is the new you're allowing? What is the manifestation that is getting clear? I do think we're finally going to have some clarity this month. Coming into the end of March and into April, we're going to see what it is we're creating. We're going to see what it is and where we're moving and what is this high growth season all about. We are leading up to that solar eclipse on the 29th. And if that is the case for you and you're like, I don't know what to do, that would be the time to launch something. I would wait to really start doing new stuff until the 29th. This is still that time of renewal, that rebirth stage. We are in the rebirth stage. And that might mean we're tender like little babies. Our feelings could be hurt. Aries is the first sign of the zodiac. It's the baby or the toddler. And so let's be gentle. Let's work with our inner child. Let's be nice to ourselves. And we might find ourselves feeling very selfish, and wanting to go into deep care. It is absolutely time for you, if you have been in any way, shape, or form playing small, playing out of the field which you are choosing to play in. It is now time to step in. It is now time to go the right direction. It is now time to follow your dreams. As we're leaving Pisces season and into Aries season, this equinox is about that expression of your power, that expression of your truth, that expression of who am I and where do I want to be? Where do I want to go? What do I want to create? And I love that. It is a beautiful, beautiful season. And those of you who are celebrating Ramadan, I know we're still fasting and taking review and gratitude. So it is a time of regeneration, giving. Those who are in Lent, there's also that period of fasting and giving something up. I think anybody right now could be giving up something that is not healthy for us. Anything that is no longer serving us, this is a good time to let it go, get out of bad habits, and align with the truth of the version of you that is your soul self, your highest self, your best expression of yourself. And that is what is being called forward here. And I love it. And if you would like some help with that, if you feel like this is your time, I have opened up for the first time in 2025 a couple of VIP days. And we've had some huge breakthroughs in a VIP day. So I've 2 breakthrough session VIP days available right now. They will go fast. These are my favorite thing to do of all. Every time I do one, they are bespoke to you. They're a custom package, exactly what you need, either here in Orlando, Florida, or on Zoom. If you live close enough, you can come to me and we can spend the day together. If you are far away and not able to travel, we can absolutely have just as magical of an expression and change from being on a video call. So let me know. Like I said, we'll have a little conversation, pick out what it is your transformation is, and it will be really, really powerful to do it at this time. So let me know if that's something you're thinking of. I have 2 available, and I also have 1 spot for 90 days of coaching available. So if one of those feels right for you, reach out. We will play, we will transform, and we will make some magic. And for the rest of you, I am going to be doing an oil temple and a compassion circle in the week of next week. The 25th is the compassion circle, and the 29th is the new moon solar eclipse oil anointing at Center Street with Patrick. So we have one coming up at the Urban Ashram and one at Center Street. So there's a lot of opportunity to work with us, to play with us, and to grow with us. And in the meantime, I just ask you to really spend some time evaluating. We have Mercury in retrograde until the 7th. We have Venus in retrograde till mid-April, and we have the upcoming eclipse. So this time frame in between, this liminal in between the lunar eclipse and the solar eclipse, has this portal of the spring equinox. And that is to find your balance, to find your center, to find your middle ground, to balance your chakras, to balance your masculine and feminine, and to plant the seeds of growth for the next six months. And I find it interesting because we will be having a we will be having a lunar eclipse on the fall equinox. So it's like we're in this window of eclipses, and then at the next equinox, we will be having another eclipse right at the equinox. So it's really potent, really powerful time. And I think you can do a lot with this 6-month period. So if you think of what can I do in 6 months, that's always my thought for high growth season. What is possible while the light is in its fullness? What is possible while I have more daylight than dark? What is my outward expression of my truth? And what am I going to make into my reality? What am I going to create? What am I going to embody? And how am I going to do that in a way that's balanced, kind, loving, and full of self-expression? So I wish you a lot of love. I wish you a lot of magic, and I will see you again next week. Live magically.